Hi everyone. Today I'm sharing my February 2021 Project Life pages and the process video for those. I just decided to do them all in one go as opposed to do them all individually, just because I'm running a bit behind because it is now April and I haven't even started on March yet. So if you're interested in finding out how I created these pages, then just keep watching. All right, so first off, I'm documenting one of our cooking class dinner dates here. We took an Indian cooking class and we made dosas, and they were really good. So I'm going to be documenting these photos that I took of our meal that we made. In January, the photos that I took of our food that we had made were, the colors clashed a lot with the papers that I had chosen. So I wanted to make sure this time around that I chose some papers that were fairly neutral in color, hence the yellow background paper that I chose here. And I'm just cutting it down to the same size as a Citrus Twist Kit's Life Crafted album page protector. Then I'm adhering the pattern paper down to the last page that I had created for the month of January, and then making sure that I have my holes punched in the correct places so that this can go into my album. Next, I have here the February transparent month card from Ali Edwards' One Little Word. This was from last year's kit, as well as the color swatch sheet from Coco Daisy's planner add-on kit, which I like to use at the beginning of each of my months just to make things a bit consistent. And here I have a few photos of us preparing the meal and watching the cooking class video. So I just wanted to include those. And because I have two photos that I wanted to include as well as a journaling card, I'm using one of these flip-flap adhesive extra pockets from Close to My Heart, just so that I can adhere that flap onto my page protector, and that gives me some extra spots to add a photo and another journaling card. This one says filed under, and I finished that phrase with the word yum that I stuck on with some alphabet stickers from the Coco Daisy kit. I've also chosen a couple of die cuts adhesive stickers. So the one on the top there says on the menu, and I'm just adding a sticker icon with the knife and fork, as well as stamping my date on there as well. So after I've placed the journaling card into the pocket, I always like to have a tab that I can use to indicate to the viewer that this flap can be flipped up. So I'm just going through my stash, and one of the planner die cuts from the Coco Daisy kit, this blue one here, I thought went really well because it tied in some of that blue in the swatch card that I have above. And I'm going to use some of these word phrase stickers that also came in the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And I'm going to stick the phrase "loved this" on the front of the tab and "weekend vibes" on the back of the tab. And the good thing about the die cuts that come in the Coco Daisy kits, both the planner kit as well as the memory keeping kits, are that these die cut pieces are all adhesive backed already, so I don't have to worry about putting on extra adhesive, and I know that they'll stay well on my page, even though these page protectors are kind of like a more slick surface that otherwise wouldn't hold adhesive very well. Moving on to my next spread of my February month. Here I'm documenting some of the photos that were taken during Valentine's Day week. So we didn't celebrate really on the Valentine's Day, February 14th. Rather, we kind of just had a quiet evening in on February 14th and then did the rest of our celebrating on February 18th. So the kind of half spread on the left is going to be February 14th, and the half spread on the right is going to be all photos from the 18th. And to divide these two dates, I'm going to be putting in this pocket card here that says "Love You More" on the front. And because I'm just going to be putting in this one pocket card, I'm going to be using this adhesive backed strip from Citrus Twist Kits. These are available separately in their shop that go with their Life Crafted albums. And these strips are so handy to have because it allows you to kind of tip in some extras like pocket cards and other ephemera and things like that without having to hole punch those cards. So for example, on this card, I didn't really want to hole punch the side of it. So I used one of these strips to adhere it, and that way I can put it into my album. I did put some washi tape on the front of that card just because that's where the adhesive strip was being glued onto that pocket card, and because the adhesive strip is like it's glossy, I just wanted to hide that with some washi tape. As usual, I wanted to have a tab that I could use to indicate that this can be flipped over, so I just wanted to use these planner tabs from the planner add-on kit, the pink one on the front and the blue one on the back. And I'll also use those that white spot underneath the tab to stamp my date on either side of the pocket card. Moving on, you can see that I've adhered some word phrase stickers onto those two photos that I have there on the left. So the top one says perfectly splendid. I've also adhered a sticker there that says any day spent with you is my favorite day. And on the bottom photo, I've adhered a word phrase sticker that says Happy Valentine's Day, as well as some hearts there. And after I've put in my photos into the pockets, I can finally adhere that flip flap that went along with the front page, just because after you've adhered that flap, it goes over the opening where you can put your bottom 3x4 card in. So make sure you have both of your cards like on the front side as well as the back side in before you adhere down those flip flap pockets. My original plan had been to use pocket pages for these other two photos that I have for February the 18th, but I decided that this spread needed a bit more color. So this is where I brought in some of my Cocoa Daisy kit papers. So I liked the heart one there because it's Valentine's Day and this is documenting our date. And you can see here that I'm just finishing up that date night card that I have on the left there. I love these cards from Cocoa Daisy because they give some room for additional journaling, but they are quite neutral in color, which makes them very versatile. But for the purposes of this card, I wanted to make sure that I had some color just to tie it into my spread. So I'm using this washi tape here. I think this one was from the planner add-on kit, and just giving me a spot that I can cover up the stars for that rating, just because I didn't want to have to fill in each of those stars. And instead I'm putting a word praise sticker that says my favorite. Just adding some washi tape onto the bottom of the card here to add some color there. And then adding one of the die cut stickers from the planner kit as well. I had actually made this next page during Treasured Memories virtual crop, and one of the challenges was torn edges. So that's why I'm cutting down my piece of paper, because I just wanted to have kind of like a torn edged effect on the right hand side, and that allows me to use more color as well and kind of layer up some of these nice Cocoa Daisy papers. I love the pinks and the navy blues in this collection, so I wanted to use that to my advantage. So here you'll see me pick out the three papers that I thought best represented the colors in this collection. So the heart paper with the pink, the yellow gingham paper, as well as the navy blue paper with the pink florals. And here I'm just cutting the papers down to size and then tearing off some of that edge to give it the torn look that I'm looking for. And to save on pattern paper, I'm going to be cutting the other pieces of paper, like the yellow one and the blue one, down into strips before I rip them, so that I'm not wasting any pattern paper. To make this page the same size as a Citrus Twist Kit's page protector, I'm just going to be clipping that blue pattern paper that I have there onto one side of the Citrus Twists Kit's page protector, and that way when I line up the holes on the left side, I know that the resulting page is going to be exactly 5 inches wide when I glue down the rest of these pieces of pattern paper. Next, I'm just going to be decorating this page a bit with some die cut florals. So you'll notice that I've already put some word phrase stickers on those photos. So the first one there says can't get enough of this and hashtag selfie. And the bottom photo I have all you need is love. And I'm just using some of these die cut stickers from Cocoa Daisy's planner add-on kit. especially around that bottom photo there, because being mostly black and white, I wanted to add some more color to frame that picture there. So after I had finished my spread, I flipped the page over, and it just so happened that the strips of pattern paper that I had matched the photos of the next story that I was going to be telling. So I wanted to tell the story of the Crafty Zoom meeting that Crystal Idunyate had held for us as part of the Scrappy Sisters Mining Network, because at that point in time she had still been a part of the Scrappy Sisters. And as part of that Zoom meeting, there was a sketch that Crystal had provided for us, and I took a picture of the layout that I had made with that sketch during the Zoom meeting. And so I felt like the colors of that sketch matched the pastel colors that I had on those pattern papers pretty well. So I'm just going to be creating an interactive flap here with my vellum. This is just some vellum that I have in my stash, and I cut this piece by 6.5 inches approximately by 4.25 inches, so that when I fold it in half, I can fit 2 3x4 cards onto it, or in the case of the front side, that's a 3x4 photo that I have there. And I'm just going to be using another one of those Cocoa Daisy planner tabs to indicate that this can be flipped out. And because the vellum is translucent, I want to make sure that all of my 3x4 pieces line up with each other. So I'm going to glue down the back journaling card that I have first, the one that has typing on it, and then I'm going to close the flap down and attach my photo in the front, making sure to line it up so that it covers the journaling card on the back, and then I'll open up the flap again to add the second journaling card to the back part of that flip out portion. And that just allows me to make sure that everything is lined up so that none of the edges are overhanging and showing through the vellum piece there. Next, I'm just using more of those floral pieces that I got from the Cocoa Daisy planner add-on kit to decorate my journaling cards. And the way that I'm positioning the floral elements is I wanted to have some floral elements that were on top of the back part of the card and some on top of the front part of the card, so that when you have the flap closed, you can see some floral elements peeking out from behind, and then when you open up the flap, it reveals the full floral piece that I have on the back portion of the journaling card. So you'll see me fiddle around with the floral die cuts a bit here, trying to decide which ones I want in the back and which ones I wanted in the front. I had debated about layering some even further back, like behind the journaling card and vellum piece that I had, but in the end I decided it would be nicer for my backmost floral piece to be on top of the journaling card that I have behind my flap. You'll also see that I use my word phrase stickers to add the phrase "these are my people" onto the front of the tab, as well as "I needed this" onto the back of the tab, because these crafty people are definitely my sort of people. And after I adhere my blue flower to the front of this photo, you'll see that I just took my embossing powder tool to kind of pounce on the back of that sticker part that's exposed on the back of the flip out card. And the reason why is because, of course, the top part of the flower is still adhesive backed, so in order to remove that stickiness a bit, I just use my powder tool. This is usually used for removing static or any extra like oils from your fingers, for example, if you're doing heat embossing. But I find it's very good for removing extra adhesive as well. So I'll definitely link that in the comments down below, in the description box below, if you're interested in picking one of those up. And last but not least, I finished this side of the spread up with just a couple of more stickers onto that journaling card, as well as some enamel dots. I have 2 groups of 3, one on the top and one on the bottom, just near my floral clusters there. And these enamel dots are also from Cocoa Daisy's kit. Next, I'm going to move on to the other side of the spread, and this is going to be on this kind of notebook type pattern paper that also came in the Cocoa Daisy kit. I just love the way that all these different types of papers and notepad papers form a kind of a collage on that page, and it's really neutral, and I felt like it went really well with this photo of the screenshot that we had of our Zoom meeting, because there's a lot of different colors going on with everyone's photos, and I just wanted to have kind of a more simple pattern paper to back this photo on. I decided not to add any florals onto this side of the page just because with the screenshot it already looked a bit busy. So instead I took one of the other pattern papers from Coco Daisy's kit. This is it kind of is like a pinkish chevron, and I'm just going to use that as an additional layer behind my photo, just kind of slanted there so that it creates a bit more interest. And I'm also going to be using some of this blue washi tape just to bring in some of the navy blue that I had going on with the florals on the other side of the spread. And I'm going to be using some of these blush alphabet stickers that came in one of the Coco Daisy kits to spell out the phrase Crafty Zoom as the title of my page. This is the first time I've used one of Coco Daisy's cardstock alphabet stickers, and I'll have to admit that they're not as sticky as some of their other alphabet stickers. I'm more used to using the puffy stickers that usually come in their kits, but this shade of pink went a bit better on my spread than the blush pink puffy stickers did, so that's why I went with these alphabet stickers. But if you are using these alphabet stickers that are kind of like a cardstock and not the puffy stickers, make sure you use a bit of extra adhesive on them, just because I noticed just flipping through mine today that they are kind of starting to peel up a bit. Lastly, just adding a label sticker there. This came in the Coco Daisy classified memory keeping kit, just so that I have a spot to stamp my date. Just adding a heart sticker next to my date label, just to anchor that label a bit, and I'm calling this spread done. For my next spread, I'm just doing a simple page just to document the photo shoot that I had with my boyfriend. Here I just printed out a photo approximately 4 inches by 8 inches, just to go on that left side of the spread. I did some journaling using my typewriter on one of the journaling cards, and then I'm going to be stamping the date on the bottom of that journaling card, and then adding this in with the other half of that Citrus Twist Life Crafted album adhesive strip that I had used the other half earlier in this video. And I'm just going through my die cut stickers and other stickers that I have from the Coco Daisy kits just to see what I can add to this photo. So in the end, I just decided to use the phrase grateful for you on the bottom of that photo layered on top of a heart sticker. And then on the journaling card, I just put one of the round die cut pieces that says happy together, and that finishes up this spread. And finally, for my last page of my February Project Life section, every month I like to do a little reflection on how my month went. So I am using one of the free printable sheets from Coco Daisy. This specifically is an email subscriber free printable. So if you're interested in getting these, make sure you're subscribed to Coco Daisy's newsletter, because every month they send out all these nice printables for us. And just trimming this down to size to a Citrus Twist Life Crafted album page protector. And after I punch holes onto the side of the page, I'm just going to run this through my typewriter to add my journaling. And then I'm going through my chipboard pieces and just choosing out a couple of pieces that I think will go with the rest of the spread. So I have the one on the top that says every day has a story, and the one on the bottom is a half circle that I felt like just nestled in right at the end of my journaling quite well. And that one says this is what life looks like. After that, I'm just adding a couple of more floral elements onto the sides of my page just to give it a bit of decoration, and some enamel dots to add a bit of extra bling, and that finishes up my February Project Life section. So here's a final flip through of my February Project Life section in my Life Crafted album. I hope you enjoyed watching this process video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and make sure you subscribe and hit the notification buttons for more of my process videos. And as usual, thanks so much for watching.